As we ponder the end of the year, I thought it'd be interesting to take a light-hearted look at some of the predictions from bank chief economists for 2019 as they made them in January and February and see how they've turned out. So the number one prediction is GDP growth in New Zealand. Now the average of the 5 chief economists of New Zealand major banks was 2.72%. The next statistic is inflation. The average prediction for the economists that put in a number was 1.78%. And the last one, and this is the one that they've got to get right, this is the official cash rate. This is the measure that the Reserve Bank uses to set benchmark interest rates in New Zealand. Interest rates are a banker's jam. This is exactly what they want to get right. Well, on average, they predicted no change. Of the 5 economists, 3 explicitly predicted no change, 1 predicted a cut of 0.25%, and the last one, an increase of 0.25%. So how did they do? Well, not a great start. New Zealand GDP growth was actually 2.4%. Now that's a reasonable way away from 2.72%. How about inflation? Well, it looks like they got ever so slightly closer here. The actual number was 1.5% against the prediction of 1.78%. But that's okay. Like I said, interest rates. Now that's a bank's jam. They're bound to get that one right, aren't they? Afraid not. As it happens, this is the one they got most wrong. Not only did they get it wrong, they got it directionally wrong. Only 1 out of the 5 predicted that interest rates would go down. Interest rates actually fell by 0.75%. That's a pretty big movement. Now this isn't intended to tell you that chief bank economists are useless. They're not. They're really interesting, informative and entertaining communicators. I actually really like what most of them have to say. What I'm trying to communicate to you is that predicting is hard. It is based on trying to estimate an unknowable future. We shouldn't do it because on average we're going to be wrong. Now when that comes to your investments, you can invest in a way that requires prediction or you can invest in a way that doesn't. Because predicting is hard, we recommend that you should invest in a way that doesn't rely on predictions. My prediction for 2020 is that in January and February of next year, there's going to be a whole lot of predictions by chief bank economists that are going to prove wrong by the end of the year. Happy holidays, everyone. I look forward to updating you again in 2020.